What's up, Raptors fans? Welcome to the Warriors Report. The Raptors played one of their ugliest games of the season against one of the worst teams in the league. So the Raptors lose to the Detroit Pistons 105-129. And the Raptors were supposed to play the Detroit Pistons yesterday, but due to COVID tracing, had their game pushed back to today. And Nick Nurse, as we know, was already out. So Sergio Scariolo was acting as head coach again. Pascal Siakam was out. We got that news early too. But we also found out yesterday that OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, Malachi Flynn, and Patrick Mccaw were also out. So the Raptors have called up Jalen Harris and our newest addition, Dante Hall, up from the Raptors 905, but they did not see any minutes. But I do want to talk about Norman Powell, who had a really huge game for us, and Kyle Lowry, and our poor defense. But before I get into the details of the game, I need you to do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. When you do that, it helps reach a larger YouTube audience. And if you could hit that subscribe button as well, it really helps this channel grow. You get a lot of Raptors content on here, including post-game analysis, Raptors trade scenarios, Raptors rumors, and latest Raptors news. So with that being said, let's jump right into this game. So Norman Powell had a really big game for us, 36 points, 14 from 20 from the field, and he also made 5 threes. Norman Powell was playing like an all-star out there. Unfortunately, besides him and Kyle Lowry, it seemed like no one was really doing anything. So Kyle Lowry stepped up big too. Kyle Lowry, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Outside of those two, it seemed like everyone was really struggling offensively. Our bench provided absolutely no offensive support at all. And it didn't help that they weren't playing great defensively as well. So we allowed the Detroit Pistons to shoot 72% from the field in that first quarter. And they just came out firing. They seemed like they were hitting every three-pointer. And the Raptors, who are usually a good defensive team, you would think we were playing like a G League team out there. We played really poor defensively, and it did not look like the Raptors that we're used to seeing, that defensive team we are used to seeing, just lockdown teams, best players. Unfortunately, we had a bunch of no-names just go off on us today. So the Raptors allow the Pistons to hit 9 3-pointers. You would think we were playing the Golden State Warriors, but the Pistons aren't known for the three-point shooting, but they still really went off. And they did. I thought the Pistons did a good job of passing the ball as well. They had 40 assists this game compared to the Raptors, who only had 16 assists. But the Raptors, like I said, got absolutely zero support from their bench offensively and defensively, so that could be one of the reasons. I just thought the Raptors weren't moving the ball overall, but there was really no one that was stepping it up offensively outside of Norman and Kyle Lowry. Chris Boucher had a decent game, I thought. He definitely struggled getting to the rim. He got the ball stripped a few times, and he was really getting bullied by Mason Plumlee. Chris Boucher ended the game with 18 points, 6 rebounds. Aaron Baines, I thought, had a decent game in that first. He had 2 offensive rebounds and 2 putback dunks. So I thought he started the game out decent. But again, our defense was just really terrible. We had a bunch of guys you normally wouldn't see score that much go off. Wayne Ellington goes off for 25 points, 8 three-pointers again. You would think these guys are like three-point specialists the way they were shooting, but Rodney McGruder, who, again, these are like absolute like 10th, 11th man best, and these guys are going off for 20-plus points. So Rodney McGruder also had 20 points, 6 assists, 4 three-pointers. And they had a rookie who, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but Sabin Lee, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. And then Dennis Smith Jr. and Mason Plumlee both go for triple-doubles. So our defense was just really struggling today. And we really missed, you could see Fred VanVleet in that shot there. We missed him. We missed Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam, who's been getting a lot of hate this season. You see what he's capable of defensively, and you see how poor our defense is when we don't have guys like him and OG out there. So we really missed their defense. It honestly seemed like no one was stepping it up offensively. Terrence Davis had a really poor game offensively. He had some really boneheaded plays too. He had that one play where he was driving to the basket. He's going for a reverse layup, and then I don't know what happened. He lost the ball or something. A ball goes flying into the air. And next play, he ends up fouling someone at the midcourt. So and Terrence Davis has all the skills in the world, but he has some really silly and dumb plays when he plays really bad. He just kind of lets himself kind of get into foul trouble and just kind of has really silly fouls. So we really missed our main guys. As you see, Pascal Siakam, we really needed him today, and we needed our other guys as well. And not a good game overall. So Pistons ended up shooting 53% from the field, and it was just, again, not a great defensive effort from the Raptors. I personally didn't like the fact that Sergio allowed Terrence Davis such a large leash. Terrence Davis, who was about 2 from 9 from the field, he ended up with 6 points, 3 rebounds, and he also had 3 big turnovers, and we really needed those baskets at that time, but he had a few really bad turnovers and just bad timing. I just thought he really struggled. He really got a chance to kind of showcase his offensive abilities, but he's so hot and cold sometimes. It's really frustrating to watch Terrence Davis. Again, outside of Norman, Lowry, and Boucher, no one really stepped it up. Stanley Johnson had 0. Utah had 0. It was tough offensively. Matt Thomas had 0 up until I think this third quarter. He finally got a few baskets, but at one point we only had about 4 or 5 guys that scored points. That's how bad we were offensively, but it didn't help that we were playing really poor defensively as well. And it doesn't help that we're playing the Boston Celtics tomorrow, so we don't know what's going on with that contract tracing, but we do need our main guys back. We need Fred back. We need OG and Pascal back as well as Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse got a lot of hate early in the season, people saying he's overrated, and you see, no disrespect to Sergio, but you see Nick Nurse is just on another level with his substitutions and everything as well. So it was a frustrating game to say the least as a Raptors fan. I was just waiting for this game to be over, hoping the Raptors would make some sort of comeback. You unfortunately did not see that. The only player that really kind of kept us in, as you see in this play here, was Norman Powell. He was doing everything, and Kyle Lowry as well. They really kept us in the game, but again, they could only do so much. They were scoring so much. They were trying their best, and you could see visible frustration from both of them on their faces. It just seemed like no one else really was stepping up. They had their shots. They had open looks. Unfortunately, they did not make them, but a really bad game from the Detroit Pistons, but let's forget about this game because it's one to forget. There's nothing good about this game that happened, but let's hope the Raptors play with a little bit more energy, enthusiasm, especially on the defensive end against the Celtics. We don't want to lose like this to the Celtics. They're a division rival, and as we've seen, of course, we lost to them in the playoffs. We want to see a bit more energy from the other guys as well. So I will be ending the video off here, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.